The firebrand Fabrice Lena of the Popular Action Party. He is the National Communication Secretary of the Popular Action Party in Cameroon. Fabrice Lena, thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure once more to be with you. Thank you very much for inviting me again.
And of course, Fabrice Lena, it's always good to have you on set. You are an example of youth in Cameroon who are daring into a field where many people consider as meant for the old, and that is politics. And equally with you, we'll be discussing many issues in Cameroon, but the first question is the special status accorded to the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Your party says they are not going for the upcoming 2020 election, and one of the key reasons is that the Anglophone crisis must and should be resolved. And now there is a special status accorded by the government of Cameroon as a solution to the crisis in the northwest and southwest regions. If elections were to be recalled today, would the PAP party go in?
Not at all, because when we talk of special status, it was something that, according to me, granted in 1972, not in 2019. This is because the government of Cameroon is guilty of disintegrating the country by, first of all, going away from the Accord of Fumban that gave birth to the 1961 Constitution. And we discovered that a lot of wrongs have been done to the people of the northwest and southwest region. I prefer to call it the southern Cameroons, because that is the identity that they came with it in this union. You know, the government thinks that it is maybe, I don't know, to give special status. What is special status to a people that come to a union as equal people? So we don't think that the special status is a loud sounding nonsense.
The question, we are getting there to the content. But now, if whatever is given to these regions now, we are talking about the content of that special status. Explain if it is able to resolve the crisis, or if
it cannot resolve the crisis. We are not talking, because when we talk of if it is able, the special status was recommended after the national dialogue.
The government says we had the minister of decentralization. I'm talking about Minister Olanga.
All these things are cosmetic.
Obams, who says these content will solve the problems in northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. No doubt.
They are cosmetic solutions. When I say cosmetic solutions, is that nobody in the northwest and southwest who understands the history of the southern Cameroonian people will accept special status. If there is anything we can accept at this level, is a federal government, and we talk of two-state federation, not special status. They are giving special status to who? We are two equal partners who are supposed to sit on a round table and decide together. Even if the special status is supposed to be given, it is supposed to be the decision of the people concerned, not one party, which is the government and its authorities, designing some thing called special status and giving it to another party, which is the people of southern Cameroon. It doesn't work like that. We have been saying, and the Popular Action Party continue to maintain and reiterate, that for us to solve the problem, we have to ask people who came in a gentleman agreement in 1961, go back again to that agreement and sit down and look at the things that went wrong. Because things went wrong when the first president, Aijo, proclaimed a unity republic without consulting the people of the other side, and it became a problem. The man ruled a country with ordinances for 1 year as a dictator. That was so wrong. He dissolved an accord that was not supposed to be dissolved, and we came there as two equal partners. And in 1984 again, Mr. Ambia came again with a presidential decree causing, that was pure secession. I can say that he is even the one who gave the leeway for the Anglophones to think that they have been seceded, because the identity of the people of southern Cameroon was now lost. So again in 1994, after AAC2, the Bamenda Declaration, what did the Bamenda Declaration say? It said that if the government does not bring back the federal status, the federal republic that made us to come together, then there will be a moment where the people of southern Cameroon will declare their independence. and that's what we experienced in 2016. Is because the government and its authorities are people who are not ready to solve any problem. Whatever thing they are designing in the name of special status will not work. That is why you're just from reading the news, people dying in Northwest and Southwest on a daily basis. If that's a solution, people will not be dying. If that's the solution, the crisis will cease. But what explains the fact that they are bringing major solution, talking about decentralization, but crisis is escalating, is because they are not giving the solution that the people want. If at all the present government in place gives any solution, people will even doubt its implementation, because they have never guaranteed to the Cameroonian people the good faith of implementing even a good decision that they take. Which means that the first thing is for the present regime and its president to move out. Then we can sit again now and read and revisit the Constitution of 1961, which came from the former Accord, and then look at the articles or those things that had made us to be disintegrated today, to be disgruntled against one another, and then from there we can see whether we will live together or not. That is how people live. It is not by force. It is not as if one party is superior, or they feel that they are the one to, like, the manner in which you give something to somebody without consulting the person.
Fabrice, you are outlining some key things there. What should be done as far as the union between the British Southern Cameroon and the West Cameroon, that is the former British Southern Cameroon. Now we have the Northwest and Southwest regions of Cameroon, and East Cameroon, which is the French-speaking part of Cameroon. And you're equally talking about a transition that is the current regime should leave. What are the priorities? Can you state chronologically and in order of importance the position of your party on the situation in the Northwest and Southwest region of Cameroon?
For the relation between the people of Southern Cameroon and the Republic of Cameroon, there are so many parties involved here. We have the Republic of Cameroon, we have the people of Southern Cameroon, we have the United Nations, we have Britain, which was the colonial master of the people of Southern Cameroon, and perhaps other actors. There was a plebiscite pact signed on December 16, 1960, where United Nations gave some points under which the people of Southern Cameroon will make their campaign to join the Republic of Cameroon. And this same plebiscite pact outlined the points if they would vote to join the Republic of Nigeria. And the points in that plebiscite pact that favored the joining of people of the Republic of Cameroon mentioned that these are two states that shall come together and will only function, they will only have common foreign policy, immigration, telecommunication, and certain things at the level of the federation. But if in the course of the union, someone who claims to be the president does not obey the institution that he incarnates, unilaterally changes the accord of that union, it means that you have disintegrated the union. They need to revisit it. If they don't revisit it, we can no more operate as people again. Now, we think that all these people need to be involved. The Republic of Cameroon, people of Southern Cameroon, United Nations, we sit on the round table discussion. At that table, we go back in that complicated part of history, which is the plebiscite, the Fumban conference, and then the change of things from that period to now. And then we look at all the things that did not go well. Those things that the English people are asking, if there are evidences to prove them genuine, then from there, everybody will see that no, these people have the right to ask this. Because even the government of Cameroon is guilty of disintegrating and causing secession of the people. Then from there now we will discover that the people will have what they want, and from there we can rebuild a new Cameroon. That is the relationship between the Southern Cameroon and the Republic of Cameroon. It is a round table that includes everybody. We are talking of everybody. Those people in the diaspora, those people in prison, the hardened opposition leaders, everybody. If anybody is excluded from the discussion, it will not work. And if the government of Cameroon continues with its arrogance of not submitting to accept its mistakes, it cannot work. Because one of the highest factors that has been causing the problems of Cameroon is the arrogance of authorities in the government of Cameroon, because they have been receiving signals since 1972 that this change of Federal Republic will cause problem in future. They gave a damn. In 1984, this change of name from unitary to the Republic will cause problem in future. They gave a damn. 1990 tripartite, they gave a damn. 1996 constitution, they gave a damn, which shows that they are not willing to solve any problem.
The government in most cases has indicated that it has been on a path for a new Cameroon. Keeping aside the federal nature, keeping aside the differences, trying to reform and make a new Cameroon more unified, more strong, and as they've always termed it, one and indivisible.
Anything less than a Federal Republic of Cameroon will not work for the new social order, because the new social order has already imposed itself on the present Cameroon that we are living in. The authorities of Yaoundé do not have control over so many parts of the countryside of Northwest and Southwest region, which means that for that living together to come back, those people must be consulted, and their ideas, when you listen to the logical analysis of secessionism, you come to discover that it is true. You people cannot come out in a union and then somebody get one day and bring back his own name. It's just like me and you, Mr. Sander, will go into a business and then we come with two names in that business, Lena and the Sander, and then in the long run you decide to abolish my own name and maintain your own name, and you expect that I should be happy, and then after you that is total nonsense.
Isn't there anything good in this special status that was adopted? As far as the bill outlining it is concerned, you've read through the bill and you've read the part that has to do with the special status to the north and south. Isn't there anything good as far as the PAP is concerned?
Cameroon is one of the countries that write very good documents, but they don't implement anything. They write very good documents, but they do not implement anything. There is a big gap between a text that is written and explained to the people and its implementation in the ground. That is what we have witnessed.
At least there's something good.
Yes, there are things good there, even though it's very ambiguous with the use of may, be, may, either. Those things are very ambiguous in its understanding in the judicial implications. But the Cameroon government that we know have bad faith. They will come there, yes, special status, this and that. Is that applicable? What is the guarantee that it will be applied and the people will it will satisfy the aspiration of the people? That is the question.
From this point, for an immediate solution to the crisis, what is the PAP now proposing? Because you actually outlined
the government need to liberate all those in prison. The government need to sign a cease pact with the leaders of the pro-Anglophone movement, and then the government need to carry out a sincere dialogue that will include everybody. Anything other than that is cosmetic, and it will not resolve the crisis.
The others talk about the Swiss mediation, and we've learned recently that the consistent unavailability of these parties, the government and the separatists, is pushing the Swiss authorities to gradually shift away from their position and their offer to mediate.
It is the manipulation of the government in place because they don't want to be sincere. You see, when even foreign countries or other people want to intervene in favor of those people who are suffering injustice, the government cries that this and that. It's because our government is not sincere and they are not willing to open up to the people.
Fabrice Lena, thank you very much for
Thank you. It's always a pleasure for me to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying with us. Have a blessed stay in the company of programs on Equinox Television.